Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Good morning, good afternoon, good day, good evening, good whatever time it is, wherever you are, and wherever you've managed to trap yourself in right now. Personally, out here in the desert, time is just a vague suggestion made by people who wear watches instead of helmets. So they tell you that the internet is a digital wasteland of cut videos and bad arguments, you know. But sometimes, if you look past the chaos, you stumble on a soul that vibrates at the same frequency as yours, at the same wavelength as yours, running at the same speed, maybe faster, maybe slower, but similar to yours. That's how I met Kagwiria Murungi, online, right here on the interwebs, on the internet. Facebook, to be specific. Can you imagine that? We all talk about Facebook, all the negative light sometimes, but that was where we met. Two people obsessed with two wheels, open roads, and the heavy thrum of an engine between their knees. While I spend my life navigating the wreckage of human conflict and trying to patch up broken souls, because I'm a broken soul too, so I understand what a broken soul feels like, she was out here, navigating the harsh terrain of Turkana, of all places. We bonded together over the steel of our bikes, but the road was pulling me somewhere deeper, way farther, way harder, way dustier, to Lodwar, Turkana. Oh yeah. Good morning, good evening, good night, good day, good afternoon, good whatever time it is, wherever you are. Unaona hapa tuko Lodwar airstrip is where I am right now. Dr. Dave Rasta, Dr. Sambla, the Redlock Doctor, the Redlock Doc, Amre for Kaparadu. So, now wakila pale kama manda. They're doing a good job anyway. So, mazati nimefika. Nilembe Kagwiria. When the fake. Will make you a China, ile side ya China. Guangzhou, when river road ya China. Imagine I've been telling Kagwiria nakuja leo. Paka nikatuma ticket, nakuja leo. Tunamwokile na si chocolate. Paka nikaposta asubuhi tunamwokile na si chocolate. Kagwiria alikuwa Ngware asha post kitu 4:30 in the morning. Mimi nikaenda airport, mimi nikaenda Machakos bus station airport. Machakos bus station JKIA, nikaenda kupanda ndudi, si ndudi. Nienda kupanda matri, asha amka asha post. Sasa nampigia simu ni saa ngapi? Ile matusi yote ulikuwa umeniwekea power bank na kurudishia leo utaki pata. Sasa hivi 7:30 nilimshwa nafika by 7:20. Nikatuma paka text, nikatuma paka ticket, nikatuma afu na maamsha. Unasema come here. Uko wapi? Lodwar. Uko Kagwiria bana. Lodwar, Turkana is also a place of dust, resilience, and sweat in places that sweat should never be. Have you ever sweated between your toenails, between your fingernails? That one. But listen, in the middle of all that heat, all that dust, all that sweat, all that, I would say, struggle, in the middle of it, I found Kagwiria's sanctuary. She runs a library there. Left Meru, her original home, to Mombasa, her home, her second home, where she's built her home. Came all the way to Turkana, out in the arid heat. And this is where she's built an oasis of words. I watched her host the local kids. Kids coming at 7 in the morning on a Sunday when they know very well that they're supposed to come in from Monday, 8:30 a.m. They still come in at 7 in the morning. And you hear them shouting across the walls, Teacher! Some of them come, Teacher, Fungua! Others come, Teacher, open for us the door. And I'm like, oh, okay. Are we sitting in Turkana? Are we? And then she's like, children, I told you come tomorrow. And they're like, Teacher, we just want to say hi. Can you imagine that love? The love from children to this wonderful lady who came all the way, I repeat, from Meru through Mombasa to Turkana to set up a sanctuary where words mean more than just what they are in the books on paper. Words are a way of conveying a secret, a story, something that is deep down there in the hearts of the person telling the story, and goes deep down into the hearts of the person listening to the story. These children whose eyes had the reflection of a future, they were reading into existence. Kagwiria will tell you that she tells the children that they can go anywhere, anywhere in the world, anywhere in the universe, anywhere in space, on earth, in the universe. As long as they can see it in a book, they can get there. That is what Kagwiria Murungi does. But listen, she doesn't just feed their minds. She fights with the dignity of the women here, running sanctuary pad drives. She has a whole pads bank. What's a pads bank? You might be asking, what's a pads bank? The banks we know are where we keep our money. The banks we know are the river banks and the banks of the ocean and the banks of the seas. But listen, Kagwiria has a whole pads bank where you deposit sanitary pads for girls and women in Turkana. She's setting it up and it's spreading like wildfire across that part of the country and that part of the world, and we are helping her spread it around. This is a bank where you, who has the ability, comes and deposits sanitary pads, or even a sanitary pad, one, and there's a girl who will come and withdraw a sanitary pad when she needs it, when she can't afford to get one. And unfortunately, there's something called period poverty. I do not know how we got here. I do not know how we still allow it, but yes. And Kagwiria is busy fighting against period poverty. Kagwiria is busy working against period poverty. Kagwiria is busy fighting for the dignity of girls and women, not just in Turkana, but across the whole country. Kagwiria does that, and that's how we formed a bond, formed a convergence in our passions, the things that we do outside of our normal day-to-day lives. And we found one convergence number one, distributing sanitary pads to women and girls across the country to retain and restore their dignity. That's how we ended up in Lodwar. Before you get to the bikes, before you go to the bikes, we decided to do a little cardio. And by cardio, I mean we decided to scale the famous Christ the Redeemer statue that overlooks Lodwar. Some say it's a pilgrimage, some say it's an adventure, some say it's a hike, whatever they say. And Kagwiria had scared the heck out of us. She told us, listen guys, you have to carry water in gallons. You have to walk with an ambulance following you, because you will not get to the top of that hill before collapsing. And we were like, yeah. Some of us, not all of us, so some of us were like, but we're like, you know what? Sisi ndio wale say, we are those people, we are those guys, we will do it. Well, others say it's a tourist spot. We basically saw it as one of the best views in Turkana. We saw it as a place that tells you a different story of Turkana. Everybody thinks Turkana is just a place where you come in and you see people rustling cattle, running around with AK-47s and G3s and shooting at each other, shooting through each other, shooting at animals. But that's not it. That's not what Turkana is. Turkana is way more. The views, I joked, I said the views of Turkana have views. The views of Turkana see views. The views of Turkana enjoy views. You need to come and see it for yourself. Anyway, so this famous statue stands at the top of a hill, and there's a whole path where they show the journey of Christ all the way into the time he was crucified. Jokes. There were jokes on top of jokes. Unfortunately for you, fortunately for me, the jokes wrote themselves.
Oya, this is Rasta Talk. This is me at the top of the mountain. Tuko hapa na Yesu. But tuko hapa na Yesu, beze msijali. Mnaona vile hapo jua inajua, alikuwa anajua tunakuja ikapungua kiasi. So sijanyuri bado. But there's still time. Acha tuone tukirudi chini. Tuonane baadaye.
We had fun. But it shows the whole journey of Christ all the way to the crucifixion, and beyond the crucifixion to where he is now seated, apparently, at the right hand of God. So he's at the top of that hill, arms spread out, reaching out to the people and saying, listen, come as you are, get your salvation. And that statue has dreadlocks, It has dreadlocks. So some of us felt like, we are home. Anyway, and we planted trees together in the dust with children to show children that, listen, there's a future. It doesn't matter how dusty the place is, how dry the place is. There's always a future. There's always a chance of a future. Just dream and push hard and fight hard and work hard, and there is a chance. We are not saying that everything will work out exactly as you want it, but there is a chance. There's always a chance. Similarly, when the soul breaks, there is a chance of getting it fixed. When the soul shatters, there is a chance of getting it fixed. Until it is dead, there is a chance. So together we planted trees in the dust. We're living a living promise of shade, life, and a subtle reminder that even in the most barren soils, things can grow if you give them a chance. Give it a chance. Give it a chance. Give love a chance. Give life a chance. Give your mental health a chance. Oh yeah, wait, we are bikers. We are bikers. So you don't just come all the way. Some of us flew, some of us came by car. You just come all the way to Lodwar. And then you want to sit in the shade after planting a tree. No, we were like, yo, you know what? Yeah, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this and get off and do this and go to where? Lake Turkana, Elia Springs. And we put on biking gear, kicked our bikes into gear. Some of us ran into a gate before we left the compound. But yeah, that's beside the point. Focus on what we're doing. Focus. And we hit the road. I don't know how to say this, but let's say it just as it is. Riding through the desert is a meditation. It's a meditation. You know, the heat is baking you in your gear. The sun is trying to calm your tires and claim them and destroy them, but you're like, no, we kept on moving, kept on falling and getting up and moving. And yeah, the desert can humble you. It humbled us, because yeah, we bought a plot, as we say. We bought land a few times, then we landed on the ground a few times. Yeah, we struggled sometimes. We had to get off the bike. The pillions had to get off the bike. We had to push the bike a number of times, but we got there. We got there midway, through the scorching expanse before we got there. And the mechanical God said, well, God, first, no, not today. They're like, yeah, what's up, Doc? Stop. And they were like, we stopped because one of the bikes died. And it's like, I ain't going nowhere. He decided it's just, but you know, in that heat, in that dust, in that baking sun, in that oven of a sun, it's not even a sauna. A breakdown is not an inconvenience. It's a psychological and physiological and physical test. You have to know that. You have to have that in mind every single time that you're on a bike, or even driving, but on a bike specifically, because that's what we do, that's what we did, that's what we were doing. And when the bike decided to die, we almost thought we would die, because the heat somehow becomes hotter. The sun begins to shine brighter for some reason. And they're like, ego nini. Anyway, we fixed the bike, and luckily for us, we were riding on the veteran being Kagwiria Murungi herself. She was so unbothered. She was so unmoved. She was laughing throughout, and we would find a song and she would dance to it. Yeah, the engine came back to life. Maybe they had the insults and they're like, those expletives are too much. Ebu turudi tufanye kazi. Anyway, the engine woke up and we proceeded on our trip. And suddenly there was a jade sea right there in front of us, and that massive expanse of turquoise water that was mocking the surrounding dryness. This is crazy. Got there, and we were seeing palm trees in the middle of the lake. Okay, not in the middle, but we're like, far away. And they're like, yeah, those trees are part of this resort, but the lake has come back to claim. Actually, you will find the houses, parts of houses, and we could actually see some walls out there, right, like quite some distance into the lake, walls and a roof sticking up. And they're like, yeah, that was part of the resort. The lake is coming back. And they're like, the lake is encroaching. We said, no, the lake is not encroaching. Y'all encroached into the lake's territory. It's just coming back to where it belongs. It's coming back, so you guys have to move. Find your way back to where you came from, wherever you came from. Let the lake do its thing. And I can guarantee you, we did not just look at it. It was beautiful. The green, the bluish, the shades of whatever colors that we could see there were amazing. But we're like, ndede. No, I mean, sorry, not ndede. Nduthi ka kando, ndede kuja, and not entirely ndede, but yeah, we were like, we gotta do this. Doof, bila mpara robot, doof, and we jumped into it. Took off our dust cake riding gear, and those things were stinking. They were stinking. Yeah, they smelled worse than Ebola. Now that Ebola is coming to Kenya, Ebola doesn't smell bad. It smells yucky. I've never smelled Ebola. As much as I treated the patients with Ebola, it did smell. But those things stunk, and then we dove right into Lake Turkana. Yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome. Felt like we were washing off the sweat of the breakdown, the grit of the road, and the weight of the city. Everything just went away. It was awesome. The water was warm. Of course, we were worried about a crocodile, but the water was warm. We got done eventually with the warm waters of Lake Turkana. Oh, amazing. You need to go and try it yourself. It makes all the sense to be there. And afterward, cool down a bit, had a drink or two of something cold, depending on who was drinking whatever cold thing it was. Kagwiria, to find an interview, and right hapo, we sat down with Kagwiria for an interview. And of course, as a doctor, I'm used to asking questions to find wounds, to find pain, to find injuries, to find a solution to the thing that is troubling my patient. But also as a storyteller, I asked questions to find her truth, what it is that made her who she was, what it is that got her to where she was, what it is that drove her, rode her, made her get to where she was. And we did the interview right there under the heavy sky, talking about the library, the paths, the bikes, and why we all keep riding towards the hard places. Some of those questions that you want to ask her, we asked her on that day. And she has a story. That was part 1. There is a part 2 coming, where she may hopefully tell us about what broke her, how it broke her, and how she picked the pieces back up. It is inspiring. She is inspiring. Before you expire, be inspired by her. We slept next to the lake, and it was amazing. Anyway, I woke up early before the world had a chance to get loud, and I was able to listen to the silence. Have you ever listened to silence? Have you ever just wanted to listen to silence? I listened to the silence, and it was amazing. It was awesome. It was cool. It was, it was something different. And I was able to catch the sunrise right there coming over Lake Turkana. That was awesome. That was cool. That was nice. And the morning was cooler. The morning wasn't so bad. The morning was 32 degrees, 30 degrees, 28 to 30 compared to 37 to 40 is cool. Let me tell you. Trust me. You don't trust me? Go try it. No, actually, do not trust me. Go to Turkana and try it. So you can see the views we're talking about and also enjoy that heat and the warmth and go to Elias Springs. Go to the lake. Go and have fun there. That bleeding amber line splitting the dark water. That sunrise. It's amazing. Well, then it was back to reality. We mounted up, rode the corrugated trucks back to Lodwar. Dust in our teeth and everywhere. You should have seen us later. We were shaking off dust from inside our ears. 3-4 days later, there was still dust coming out of our ears. Is that dust coming back to me? Yeah. And the sun on our backs, it was hot. But cool. It was good. We enjoyed the bumpy rides. We enjoyed the falls. We enjoyed all the struggles. We enjoyed all the brakes that were failing and the clutches that were failing and fixing them and getting back onto the road and the engines that were failing and the batteries that were dying on us. It was all fun. All fun. But unfortunately, everything has to come to an end. And the trip was over. Quick goodbye, and I was on the flight back to Nairobi, looking down at the shrinking desert from a tiny airplane window, and I realized something. The human soul is a lot like Turkana. It can look barren, scarred, and pushed to the brink by trauma and burnout. But if you look closely enough, you will find people like Kagwiria.
I had utensils. Just for one person, I was struggling with utensils and whatnot. So, Dr. Wasambla, just see what he brought. Cups. cups. Plates. Wait.
There's more.
There's more. There's a lot more. And spoons. And more plates. Like millions of plates. There's more.
The pink cup is for M's. Baby girl.
The pink cup is for M.
Baby girl. The mabati one is for God. Mwizi wa kahawa.
So like, what a girl needs after a hot day.
Yes.
And disinfectant.
Yeah.
I'm so happy about that. And toothpicks.
Oh, toothpicks, yes.
And bread. And hand tissues.
Yes. We are evolving. Who understand? Yes, so you can stand strong.
All the way up there, in that dust, in that heat, building libraries in the dust.
I need you guys to learn how to read and write and interact and yes.
Planting forests in that heat and making that desert bloom. Giving us a reality that we have not probably known about or faced before or heard about. Taking away those stereotypes and making a difference. Making us know there is a difference. Go for yourself. Go and see it for yourself. Let me tell you something. Sometimes when the weight of the world threatens to break your soul, the only therapy you need is to twist the throttle. Chase the horizon. Let the wind clear the dust from your mind. Let that engine sound. Drown the noise in your head. Drown the noise in your mind. Yeah, you may not be a warrior, just as I am not a warrior. But that war up in here, in your mind, that war in here, in your heart, can be quieted by the louder rumble of a motorbike engine. I am biased to motorbike engines, but that is who I am. I ride. We ride for hope. Yo, adios. Kujeni Turuati, Turkana. See ya. All good. Jibambeni sana. Cheers. Rasta dog out. Adios.